Welcome to Winging It. We're playing Arkham Horror the card game today. This is Amanda and Silas going through the Innsmouth conspiracy. We're playing the third scenario, Into Deep. This is a very big map. I have tried my best to get everything on this so you can see it all, but it's kind of been a challenge. One more reminder before I draw up opening hands, in the links below you can see a deck upgrade video, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in what I've done to these decks. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw up opening hands. Silas gets 5 cards. And we have Live and Learn, Quick Thinking, Track Shoes. Oh, Track Shoes and Granny Orn are amazing. We don't need the Resourceful. We're looking for a weapon and maybe Peter, but this is a fantastic opening hand. Okay, and we get, I take Heart. And look what I found. Okay, so definitely some good things that we'll be able to use. We don't have any enemy management stuff, but we can evade, and we'll be evading at a 6 with the Track Shoes. So. Alright, Amanda, drawing up her opening hand. We're looking to get her assets into play very fast. So, okay, Dream Enhancing Serum. I already see that and I want it. We don't really want... we're not going to play Elena Harper. So we're going to ditch that. The Cracked Case is very useful for getting some resources because she's going to need some. So I'll probably keep that. I might keep the... No, we'll ditch these 3. We don't need a 3 aces yet. That's for down the line. So, okay, we'll get a deduction. And a vicious blow, and a perception. Okay, so this is an interesting hand. We can put the perception under her. It will make it a little bit frustrating because we're not going to be able to get, knowing the scenario the way I do, we're not going to be able to get a lot of investigates, right off the bat. So, but I think we want to get the Dream Enhancing Serum down. Something that we'll want to do. Alright, so a little word about the setup here. We do have the black keys on the Innsmouth jail because that's where Elena Harper was being held, and that's actually super convenient for us. And then each of these resource tokens represents a barrier in between locations. We can move up and down, left and right. We can move orthogonally between these locations, but we can't move if there's a barrier there. So let's take a look at the act and agenda. And the agenda, barricaded streets. Okay, each suspect enemy loses aloof and cannot be parlayed with. That's okay because we didn't murder any suspects. Forced when your turn ends, if you are at a fully flooded location, take 1 damage. So, I forgot a part of the setup. We'll go ahead and rectify that. And that is that each of these locations on the right, which is a coastal here, these are all partially flooded. Okay. Let's take a look at, these are the 5 random set-aside keys. We'll take a look at the act, which is through the labyrinth. Inhuman creatures patrol the streets of Innsmouth, hunting for you and more of your kind. You must make your way to the other end of town and escape, but perhaps more of your memories can be recovered if you explore the town of Innsmouth further. And you can spend 3 clues as a group to remove a barrier, that's a free trigger, between your location and a connecting location. The objective is to get to the railroad station. So, and we can advance. So there's just 1 act. This is the railroad station up here. So let's put all these random keys here on the act, just as a place to hold them. Alright, so it is now the beginning of the round. Amanda gets to draw up a card. She will get a Promise of Power. I guess we need to look at this starting location before the round begins, so we'll go ahead and do that. They are at the Desolate Coastline. It is a True Shroud, 1 clue location, and the card effects cannot place barriers between the Desolate Coastline and connecting locations. So we're looking at 1 clue here. Okay, so the question is, I do want to get the Dream Enhancing Serum down, but there's nothing really good to put under her. We could put the Promise of Power under her, actually, and that will allow us to investigate to get the clue, put the dream-enhancing serum down, and move, and crack the case for more resources. So all of that sounds really good to me. I want to have a lot of resources so that I can play the Time Worn brand when it comes out. So we'll go ahead and put the Promise of Power under her. Okay, so that means that every time we do anything with her, we're going to have to put a curse token in the bag. So we are going, action 1, she is going to investigate this. She'll be at 6v2, putting a curse token in the bag. And we get an Elder Sign, which doesn't do anything for us, but it does get us this clue. And then we can crack the case, which we will do. And we'll grab the 2 resources. We could give some to Silas, but I think Silas is going to be okay. Alright, so that's action 1. Action 2, we are going to spend 3 resources to play the Dream Enhancing Serum. Then action 3, we're going to move into Innsmouth Harbor. Innsmouth Harbor is 2 clues, 1 shroud, and then after you enter this trigger location, you can use the free trigger to move to the house on Water Street, which I'm going to do. There's also a 2-action parlay to remove a barrier between this location and a connecting location. But honestly, I just want to keep moving. I don't think the clues are that valuable. So let's save the action by moving. So we're going to move to the house on Water Street, which is a 2-shroud, 2-clue location. Forced after this location is revealed, randomly choose one of the set-aside face-down keys and place it on this location without looking at it. And then for a free trigger, you can choose and discard 1 card from your hand to parlay or remove 1 barrier between this location and a connecting location. And there are 2 clues there. Of course, that is her last action. Alright, now Silas, I want to get to that location. So, action 1, he's just going to move and use the free trigger to go to the house on Water Street. He's going to spend 4 resources to put out Granny Orn. And then, we could investigate actually committing Take Heart, and we might actually get a clue. So we'll do that. Last action, we will investigate committing Take Heart, and we're okay either way, either winning or losing here. Because if we get the clue, we get the clue. We can pull Take Heart back. If we don't get the clue, we get 2 cards with 2 resources. So. Okay, we auto-fail, so I guess we'll take the cards and resources for Take Heart. And we get a Eureka, an Internal Injury, which means we are going to take a direct damage at the end of our turn. That is no fun. Alright. We do get the 2 resources. So next turn I guess we play Track Shoes and then clear the Internal Injury. Alright, it is time for upkeep. Silas will draw a Brute Force. Okay, well, we can kill 1 thing, presumably. And a resource. And Amanda will get Practice Makes Perfect. And a resource. Alright, we are at 1 of 6 doom. And we're drawing encounter cards. Silas gets Rising Tide. Increase the flood level of the nearest location that can have its flood level increased. So that would be this house on Water Street, which means if they stay there, then they will they will take a damage. And then Amanda will get Innsmouth Look. Okay, so this is going to lower her intellect and her sanity, and she's going to test 3 willpower to get rid of it. That is somewhat unfortunate. Okay. And then the beginning of the round, she will draw an Unexpected Courage. Okay, I'm inclined to put the Unexpected Courage under her. With the perception, she could investigate, and then move, though. And that actually gets her hand pretty full. So I think I want to do that. We'll do this. Yeah, maybe we'll put, actually, we'll save that. Put the Unexpected Courage under her. I think that's going to make more sense. Because we do want to get rid of this Innsmouth Look. Alright. So we could do that. We could clear the Innsmouth Look, then investigate committing deduction, and then we would be able to get the 2 clues. We could discard a card and then move. So I think that is our plan. So first thing she'll do is she'll test the Innsmouth Look. She is at 4v3, which is not awesome. Okay. Silas is going to commit Eureka, which gets her to 5v3, and then Granny Orn. Granny Orn can help her fail if she draws a -3. If we draw a -4, though, there's nothing we can do. These are pretty good odds, though. That is -3. Okay, we do have to use Granny Orn. But we get rid of the Innsmouth Look. And then we can look at the top 3 cards and draw one. So we get the Lab Assistant, the Practice Makes Perfect, and the Overpower. And I think I'm going to draw the Practice Makes Perfect, as that will trigger Dream Enhancing Serum to give me another card. And we will get a Vicious Blow. We now have 2 Vicious Blows. So, okay, her second action, she is going to investigate. We could play Practice Makes Perfect, or we could just commit this deduction in our hand. We really want to get the deduction, though. We really need to commit the deduction. Let's see. We're going to be at 4v2. It's going to be 5v2. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to spend 1 and play Practice Makes Perfect, since we have 2 of them anyway. They're not targets for Dream Enhancing Serum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so let's see what we got for practice cards here. We got a 3 aces. Is that the only one? No, we can't commit an Overpower. I guess we're committing the 3 aces, which is like not at all what I wanted. Okay. Although that's a target for Dream Enhancing Serum, a pretty good target for Dream Enhancing Serum. But if we lose it, we'd be very, very sad. So we are now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to beat 2. So autofill here would make me super sad, because then I would lose the 3 aces, and it's not what we want. The 3 aces will come back to hand if we're successful. And then it can just sit there and, you know, it's got 2 targets for Dream Enhancing Serum, which is nice. Alright, Elder Sign. So the deduction goes into our discard. 3 aces goes. That's like 2 Elder Signs that I've gotten already for her. She's taken like 2 tests and gotten 2 Elder Signs. Okay. So we need to get rid of a card. I'm inclined to drop. We'll the other practice makes perfect. I may regret that, but anyway, it's not a target for Dream Enhancing Serum, so we're gonna free trigger that to get rid of this, and then we will next action we'll move. Last action we'll move to the Marsh Refinery, which is 1 clue, 3 shroud. If you can control one or more keys, move to a connecting location. And so she has a key, so she can do that. She has... Oh, did we not put a random key out there? Well, okay. So, backing up. We had to put a random key there. When there were no keys, she got it. And then she would have used this free trigger here. And yeah, you can discard an asset you control to remove 1 barrier, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so she'll move to this location because she has the key and she can do that. Okay, and this is a 1 shroud, 4 clue location with a victory point. And it gets +1 shroud for each barrier between it and a connecting location. And then you can take an action to add 2 curse tokens to the chaos bag to parlay and remove 1 barrier between a location and a connecting location. So, it is actually right now a shroud 4, which she will struggle to beat. But I think we will put a perception under her and we'll see. Alright, and that is her turn. Of course, Silas could go there and do a look what I found, which isn't terrible. So I do want to clear the internal injury. I think we just clear the internal injury and move, and then we can put out the track shoes next turn. So he will take 2 actions. Let's see, that move was her last action. 2 actions, and then he'll move for his last action. That way he doesn't take a damage from internal injury, and he doesn't take a damage from being at a fully flooded location. Alright, so Silas, we will ready. I didn't put this clue up here. And then we will draw. Silas will draw another Granny Orn, willpower or intellect icon, and a resource. And then Amanda will get her Time-Worn brand. We definitely want to get this in play soon. Maybe not this turn, maybe next turn. Yeah, the problem is she doesn't really... I mean, she wants to put a perception under her, but she doesn't really have a way to pass the test. We will have to see. Okay, we are now at 2 doom of 6, and Silas will draw. Okay, so he loses a sanity and a willpower. Can do relay. And then Amanda will get an Innsmouth Troublemaker, location with the most clues. Okay, so that will spawn on to Amanda. Alright, beginning of the round, she will get another copy of Dream Enhancing Serum, which isn't terribly useful right now. Alright, well, we do want to put the perception under her. The problem is she will only be going at a 4b4. Let's see how we can do this. Silas will come in. He can brute force the Innsmouth Troublemaker, but he probably won't be able to do enough damage to kill it, is the unfortunate thing. I'm tempted to put the Dream Enhancing Serum under Amanda, and then just do a setup turn. Draw some cards or something. Or we could grab a resource to play the Time-Worn brand. I hate to grab resources, though. Draw a card, grab a resource, do the Time-Worn brand. I think we'll do that. So we'll put the Dream Enhancing Serum under her. Alright, so Silas will action 1, move in. Action 2, engage the Innsmouth troublemaker. Then action 3, he's going to evade at 4v2. Of course, he can Granny Orn. Alright, that is the number of barriers between your location and connecting locations, which is 3. So he failed by 1. We will use Granny Orn. This Innsmouth troublemaker is exhausted. Okay. I actually think what we will do is we will remove all the barriers from here, which will reduce the shroud by a lot. I should have put the perception under her, but I didn't. So what we're going to do is we will take a resource. We're up to 5. We'll spend the resource to put the Time Worn brand. So now she has some fighting potential. And then for the last action, she's going to add a curse. She's going to do the parlay ability and add a curse token to the chaos. 2 curse tokens to the chaos bag to remove this. And then we'll spend 3 clues to remove another. And that way she can put the perception under her and have a really powerful draw turn next turn. So that seems good. Alright, so this guy we're ready. And Silas will get a live and learn. And a resource. Amanda will draw an overpower. And a resource, which now gives me the ability to put that under her to just deal with the Innsmouth troublemaker. She could clobber him. Now we'll see. Okay, we're at 3 doom. Drawing encounters. Silas will get undertow. So this is going to go in his threat area, and after you move, you take 2 damage and 2 horror, and you can discard it. Or you can discard 1 card from your hand and test 3 fight to try to beat that. So that's a thing. All right. Okay, and then we'll get Amanda will get. Okay, so each investigator either has to lose 3 resources, take 2 horror, or we place 1 doom on the agenda. We can't consult, but she's going to absolutely say the resources. And they're probably okay with that. Okay, and then it is the beginning of the round. Amanda will draw Elena Harper. So the question is, do we want to put the overpower under her and fight this guy? She would be at a 4. She'd be at a 6 v3. She could also, or she can just put the perception, do 3 investigates. That is a good question. I think she just commits the overpower to, and Silas is a brute force, and then she just does the 3 investigates. I think she'll start off with 3 investigates because she might get some cards that will help. So yeah, we'll put the perception, and she might get a card that would help Silas. So she's going to do 3 investigates. She is at 4v1. +1. She gets a clue. She gets to draw a card, which is 3 aces. So we've now got 2 copies of 3 aces. We can use Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card. So be the Dream Diary, which we would put in play if we had resources. But we don't. Okay, next action. We're investigating again to get 2 clues. Okay, the number of barriers between your location and all connecting locations is 1. Oh, you know what? What did I say? I had this, I said it was a 1 shroud, but it's actually a 2 shroud. She's up by 2. But anyway, we succeeded the first one. So, we draw another card, which is a Grizzly Totem. Would be really nice to also get in play. Check out this clue. And then we could just kill the Innsmouth Troublemaker, and Silas can... wait. I should have only gotten 2 clues. If I killed this Innsmouth Troublemaker, then Silas can investigate using Look What I Found. Oh, he probably wants to put the track shoes out. Yep. He'll only be investigating 1 up. So we'll just investigate again. Okay, that is -2. She gets a clue, and she draws another card, which is an Inquiring Mind. We can very easily put that under her next time. Alright, so that is her. Silas will... he's going to brute force this. She will commit her Overpower. That gets him at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He wants to succeed by 2. You know what? We're not going to quite do this. Yeah, we will. Okay, that is -1 for each location east, so it's -1. So this is succeeded by 2. He is dead. Brute force goes away. She gets to draw a card from the Overpower. She gets a Promise of Power. Okay, so Silas has 2 actions left, actually. Oh, I should have saved that Overpower for this Undertow. Alright, I think he'll get rid of the Granny Orn to trigger this, and Amanda will commit the Promise of Power she just drew, putting another curse token. We now have 4 curse tokens in the bag for Undertow. So he is at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to beat 3. Alright, that is -2. We do not fail. So the Undertow is gone. That's a free trigger for that event, so we still have 2 actions left. So this is removing our willpower, actually, not our intellect. So we're still at 3v. We're up by 1. I think we're going to spend 3 to play the track shoes for second action, and I'm inclined to just draw a card for the last action. So we'll draw a card for the last action, which is, okay, a Eureka. Great. Alright, upkeep. We get an old key ring for Silas. And then we'll get Obscure Studies. For Amanda. We are now at 4 of 6 doom, drawing encounters. Silas will get the Innsmouth Look. Okay, this is really reducing his sanity down to 3. Oh man. That's no good. And then Amanda will get... Oh, she's got an undertow now. Okay. It's not too bad. Here, I think we put the Inquiring Mind under her. And then she can get that last clue. And then just move on. Did she not get a resource? She should have gotten a resource. Alright, she will draw a card. Oh, Inquiring Mind, which lets us Dream Enhancing Serum. Draw another card, which is her Nihilism. Just keep this out here. Alright. We're going to put an Inquiring Mind on her. That's very, very easy. I'm inclined, actually, to... we could test the Innsmouth look from Silas. So I think we... let's see, his willpower is going to be 3v3, which is not awesome. So we'll test to get the clue, and then we'll test the Innsmouth look. Well, first of all, we got to test Undertow, so we'll discard Elena Harper, because I don't think we need her. Okay, folks, I apologize. I got confused about what I did, and I lost track, so hopefully I've rewound this properly to do the right thing. But I am discarding Elena Harper to test this Undertow. I am at 5v3. We auto-fail, okay? So you gotta discard another card to test this. So we are going to discard our other Inquiring Mind. And again, we are at 5v3. Yeah, 0, so we pass. So that is gone. Now it hasn't taken us an action yet. Okay, now the first action, we are going to test the Dreams of Brûlé on Silas. We are at 5v3 on that. Our first action. It's -2. We pass, so it is gone. Second action, we're going to test the Innsmouth look on Silas at 5v3. -1. We pass, it's gone. And then for the last action, we'll just, I think we can trust Silas to get this clue. He can put down the old key ring, get the clue, and then move. Yeah, so last action, she's just going to move. The reason I want to keep the Inquiring Mind turned on. So she'll just move it. This is the Shoreward Slums, is a 2-shroud, 2-clue location, and then forced after it's revealed. Place a key on it, and then you can use a free trigger to take a damage and to remove a barrier. So put the key on it. And 2 clues. Okay, there we go. And then Silas will spend 1. That was her last action. Spend 1 to put the old key ring into play with the 2 keys on it. He will investigate using the action on the old key ring. We're going to go ahead and commit Eureka to this. See if we can find a weapon or something. 0. Okay, we are successful. So we get this clue. Right, 3 cards. You get either lucky, or unexpected courage, or Peter Sylvester. We'll take Peter, although we still don't have a weapon yet, and we don't have resources to play Peter. But that is, I only have one version of the upgraded Peter, so being able to get the one out that has the willpower boost is really good. So I'm not sure I actually move now, because I think I want to get resources to get Peter out, and I think Amanda can take care of herself if she draws an enemy or something. So we're just going to, for our last action, take a resource. Alright, so now it's time. Oh, and we did lose a key in the old key ring. I'm not drawing any skills with Silas. No skills, no weapons. What is this? Alright. And then Silas will draw his other copy of Peter Sylvester. Too bad he doesn't have Dream Enhancing Serum. And then a resource. And then Amanda is going to get her last copy of 3 aces. That is interesting. She can obviously use Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card, which will be an Overpower. Alright. Alright, we're at 5 of 6 doom and drawing counter cards. Silas will get title alignment. You can choose a location where there's at least 1 investigator, increase the location's flood level. Each investigator at the chosen location takes 1 damage if the location's flood level is not increased. Okay, so it's a peril. Can't talk about it. He'll increase his and take another damage. All right, and then Amanda is going to get pulled back. Test 3 willpower. If you fail, move to the connecting location to the east. So this would be actually really not awesome. So I think I actually want to take a setup turn this turn. So what I'm going to do is commit 3 aces to this. All 3 copies of 3 aces. We will automatically succeed. Drawing 3 cards, which will be Whispers from the Deep, which is great if we draw in a setup turn. A Perception. And a Crack the Case. Okay. And then we get 3 resources. Alright, and then for her and then at the beginning of the round, she will draw and get a lab assistant, which is kind of what I was hoping I would get out of all of that. So I can spend 4 resources to play a dream diary and a laboratory assistant. So not too bad. Okay, so we will grab, we have to put her Whispers from the Deep under her. So her actions are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, spend 4 resources to put the dream diary and the laboratory assistant into play. She will draw 2 cards from the lab assistant, which will be an unexpected courage and another laboratory assistant. Now she still might be able to get the clue here by committing an unexpected courage and a perception and a lab assistant. Let's see, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you know, she'll actually get to draw cards if she does it next turn. So I think we just take a resource. We got a Pathfinder coming up in the next couple cards, and we'll want to play it next turn. So we take a resource, and then we can crack the case on this next turn. And then we can crack the case. Now, yeah, that'll give. Well, actually, we don't need to take a resource. Either way, well, okay, this is true. We'll almost certainly, we got 3 cards left, and we'll certainly get the Pathfinder, which is what we really want to get out. If we can beat this, which is, if we use Unexpected Courage and Perception and Lab Assistant, we would be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to beat 2. We're going to commit all of that. 6 to beat 2 seems okay. Yep, 6 to beat 2, let's go. Okay. I'm going to be really sad if this fails. Okay. Well, there you go. That was the Cursed followed by an Elder Sign. So we do get a clue here, and we get a draw from the Perception, which is our Pathfinder, which is what I was hoping to get. All right, excellent. And then we can get the clue Pathfinder, move next turn. All right, I think Silas is going to take a resource, spend the 3 resources, play Peter Sylvester. And then I think we will take a resource. Charisma slot here for a purpose. I think we'll draw a card. We actually need to get some skills. So last action, we'll just draw a card. Okay, we got a daring, so that's a thing. Okay. It is now time for upkeep. Upkeep will get Sea Change Harpoon. We've got our weapon. And a skill, finally, that we can use with it. Alright, and then Amanda will get Burning the Midnight Oil. More resources, so we could put the Pathfinder and the Grizzly Totem into play. No, that's not enough for all that. Crack the case will just be for the 2. Alright, then the agenda advances. The tide creeps in as you make your way through the decrepit streets. You hear the sound of blood-curdling cries of someone in agony up ahead. The moment you see the creatures patrolling the intersection, you hide in the broken-down doorway of a ruined building. Their unusual gait and croaking voices send shivers through your body. Even as the slapping of their webbed feet against the road fades into the distance, you cannot escape the feeling that inevitably they will find you. So we increase the flood level of each coastal location. Silas, you cannot stay here because it's fully flooded. Alright. Shuffle the set-aside Ravager from the deep and young deep one enemies into the encounter deck along with the encounter discard pile. Now we get a new agenda. So it's the same, except that now when you are it turns as if you're at a fully flooded location, you take 1 damage and 1 horror. Alright, so that's where we're at. It's a 5 doom threshold, and Amanda will get a Deep One Bull. After a Deep One Bull engages you, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Force after an investigator defeats another Deep One enemy at any location, ready Deep One Bull, and move it once toward that investigator's location. She has to choose and discard a card when it engages her. Oh, wait. This is Silas. He has to choose and discard a card. We're going to get rid of the living... Oh, we're going to get rid of the Peter Sylvester. We don't need that. And then Amanda will get Deep One Invasion. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck for each location to the east. And discard until we get a Deep One and spawn it at that location. We don't have to shuffle because there's nothing there. So we'll just keep discarding. Okay, we get a young Deep One. Okay. It's a 3/3/3. When it engages, you take 1 horror. Okay, so and then Amanda is going to draw the last card in her deck, which is a deduction. Not too bad. She could have a very productive turn here. We're going to put, I think, the Obscure Studies under her. Yeah. Which will allow her to investigate and get that clue. Play the Pathfinder. And then move into Innsmouth Jail, which is where, yeah, we can accomplish a lot this turn by doing that. All right, so she's going to investigate at 5v2. You know what? We'll play Burning the Midnight Oil to get 2 resources. And yeah, investigating at 5v2. Okay, that's minus 2. We don't fail. And we'll get the clue. First action, we will crack the case to get 2 resources. Eventually we can play this Grizzly Totem. Alright, and then we will take a damage to remove this. When we get this key, which is the yellow key. Alright, cool. We will spend 3 for a second action to put down Pathfinder. Oh, we have the Dream Enhancing Serum in our hand. Great. Forgot about that. We will then use the Pathfinder to move into the Innsmouth Jail. Just 3 Shroud, 2 clue location. You can spend 3 resources to parlay to remove a barrier. And then free trigger, if you control the black key parlay, read the flashback 8 in the campaign guide. Victory point 1. So, cool. Alright, she is at 5v3. We're going to commit Deduction and Essence of the Dream, which the Essence of the Dream is actually only worth 2 right now, because our hand has gotten a little bit emptied out. So we are at, but we want to get both these clues. And this will put the deduction back in our discard before we reshuffle, so that's nice. So we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, v3. Get both these clues as our last action. And then you can get the black key, and it just so happens that we're in the right location to turn it in. So that was fortunate. Okay, minus 4. I'm glad we committed all of that. Alright. So we do get both clues. Should save the cracked case for that. Alright, and then we will read the flashback. I'm not going to read it, but it does mean we get to get rid of 1 token from the bag. I am going to choose to get rid of... I'm going to choose to get rid of the tablet for variety's sake. I know the Elder thing is usually the worst, but, you know, if you've been following my streams, we did the Elder thing, so I'm going to try to do the tablet. And my wife and I are running this, and we got rid of the cultist, so I'm going to try everything. Alright, so we have gotten rid of that, and that is, of course, the flashback there. Alright, Silas really needs to get his weapon down. The first thing he's going to do is evade this deep one bull. We'll commit the daring. So we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to be 2. We get a +1. Hold the daring back using his ability. Draw a card, which is an unexpected courage. Good. So he is evaded. We will move down here, triggering track shoes, testing at 6v3. Okay, +1. Okay, and last action, we will just grab a resource. We want to get a sea change harpoon down. Okay. It's time for upkeep. Silas will get Meat Cleaver. Sea Change Harpoon is going to be better than the Meat Cleaver, I think. And resources, so he has enough to do it. And then Amanda, I'm going to shuffle her deck. She will draw Cream Enhancing Serum. She gets a resource. Alright, we're at 1 of 5 doom. I'm drawing a counter card for Silas. We'll get Lurking Deep One. So, after Lurking Deep One engages you, you take 1 damage. So he takes damage. Doesn't hunt, it's just going to hang out here. This threat area. And then Amanda will get Furtive Locals. Test 3 intellect. If you succeed, either take 1 damage or put Furtive Locals into play next to the agenda deck. If you fail, do both. Investigators cannot parlay. That's, of course, if it's there. So we're at 5v3 is pretty okay. For not to take a damage. I don't think we're planning to parlay. This guy is ready. Zero. Okay. We're not playing to parlay, so this next to the agenda, and maybe I will actually get this mechanic right this time. Alright, now it's Amanda's has to draw a card at the beginning of the round, and she gets a lab assistant. Oh, we should have taken a horror when we cycled our deck, which we would of course put on lab assistant. That's one of her functions. Okay. So there's no question. Let's see. Actually, there is a question. Yep. So Amanda's going to put Overpower under her. This will give her loads of card draw. Okay. So the first thing she's going to do is whack this Lurking Deep One. She's at 6v2 with the Time Worn brand. So action 1. Okay, that is -2. So he is dead. This Deep One Bull, ready him and move it once towards the investigator. So he moves towards them. Cool. Alright, then she will Pathfinder into the Innsmouth Square. It's a force route to clue location with a victory point. Forced after it's revealed, spawn the set-aside Innsmouth Shogoth at this location. Exhausted. You parlay. You can remove one barrier from this location and in a connecting location, so it's between this location and a different connecting location. So you can take an action to move things around. Of course, we can't parlay this route because of furtive locals. And then if you have 2 or more keys as a group, you can parlay and get flashback 5 in the campaign guide. I do not have the ability to do that because of furtive locals. I am paying attention this time to that. I'm learning as I go. Alright, so let's go get this Shogoth. Here is the Innsmouth Shogoth. He is a 3/8/2 because he gets plus 4 health, 2 health per investigator. He's Hunter and massive, and when he moves via the Hunter keyword, it ignores all barriers. He comes into play exhausted, right? Yeah, he's exhausted. He does 2 damage to horror. He's worth a victory point, and yeah, he can just barrel through and get rid of all the barriers, so yeah, he's there. Okay. So he is a 3, and I think, did we draw a card when we hit, or maybe that was that Dream Enhancing Serum. You know what, we'll say we drew a card. Yeah. Cumulative blow to be 7v4 and do 3 damage. 7v3 and do 3 damage. Okay, that is -2. We don't fail. We do get to draw a card, which is Crack the Case. Great. And then we'll commit our last Vicious Blow. She's running out of cards in her hand. Although we do have this Essence of the Dream that we have not committed. (7v3). Alright, 0. That's 3 more damage, and she gets to draw a card from the Overpower. And she gets a 3 aces. Okay, well, building up her hand a little bit. And next turn, we can put the Essence of the Dream under her. Alright, so that is... We could have exhausted the brand, actually. And he has 6 of 8 damage on it, so she's already taken most of his health away. If Silas can manage to do 2 damage to it, then he's dead. Okay. Alright, so Silas will spend... She's taking her actions there. He'll spend 3 to put out his Sea Change Harpoon. Put it here. Action 2, he'll move in, and action 3, he'll hit the guy with a Daring. We are at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to beat 3. And we auto-fail. Wah, wah. He gets Retaliate, but since he's exhausted, it doesn't do anything. And then we will draw a card, which is going to be a Lucky. Nice. Alright, so he is massive. He readies. This guy is a Hunter. Which... Did we not move him last time? I wonder. I feel like we didn't. I feel like he spawned when he was there, so we'll go ahead and move him there. Which is a thing that we're going to have to deal with. Okay. Alright, so we're all ready. I don't know what this is. Just kidding. Shuffle these up. A little bit of red there. Okay. Upkeep, Silas will get Quick Thinking. He's got 8 cards in his hands. Resource. Okay, and then we get an Unexpected Courage for Amanda. And a resource. Vertive locals goes away. We're at 2. Down, and we will get inundated. Place one barrier between this location and each connecting location with no barriers. Okay, so that is 1 here, 1 here, and 1 up here. Okay, and then it's not terrible because now we can remove this one, which will give a pathway for the young deep one to go that direction toward us. So that's good. All right, and we get the dreams of relay on to Amanda, which is probably okay. And then she, at the beginning of the round, she's going to draw her card. She gets a cracked case, which we have now 2 of those. And so she can dream enhancing serum. Draw another card, which is Elena Harper. Which she could play if we wanted lots of investigating goodness. Okay, so we got to choose a card to put under her. It's probably the essence of the dream. So we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's worth 4 icons as long as we don't play any of our things. Okay, so I think Silas will actually might be able to get both of those clues. Okay, but before we do anything else, we've got to kill this guy, so we will use Daring with the Sea Change Harpoon. Up by a lot. Let's hope it goes better than last time. Because, of course, this time he'll whack him because he's not exhausted. -4. We were at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have to leave it committed. So we will. But he's dead and goes to the victory display. And we get to draw a card, which is 38 Derringer, which we don't need at all. Let's see, that was our first action. Second action, we'll take a resource so we can play Look What I Found. And third action, we'll just investigate using the old key ring. So we are at 3v2. Okay, that's the Elder Sign. So we're going to succeed, but we could commit a card from our hand to this. So we will commit. We're actually going to commit Take Heart to this, so that we have a means of getting some resources and things. Okay, so we get the clue because we success, and then Take Heart goes back to our hand. All right, neat. So, what are we doing here? I think action 1, she'll spend 3 resources to go ahead and play the Grizzly Totem. She'll just put it here. Put it laboratory assistant. Okay. So we got the Grizzly Totem, action 1. Action 2, she's going to investigate. She is... Oh, wait. Nope, we're not doing it in this order. Yeah. Just kidding. Because I need the cards in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. She needs a card in her hand in order for the essence of the dream to be worth 4. So, okay, first action, she's going to investigate. So it's 6 to beat 4. Making this Granny Orn if we fail by 3. Okay, that's -1. she gets the clue. Do we crack the case? I think I don't think we need the resources, honestly. We have just about everything we need to play. Yeah, so I think we're okay. I'd rather just have the cards in my hands to activate the Essence of the Dream. So, we will spend 3 of our clues. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll spend 6 clues. 4, 5, 6. To remove these 2 barriers. This makes a pathway for the young deep one to go. Alright, and then she will Pathfinder into this New Church Green location, which is a 3 shroud, 2 clue. We put a random key on it. Oh, we should have done the flashback, which we'll do. Alright, after this location is revealed, she's going to set aside face down keys and place it on this location without looking at it. And if there's no clues, you can parlay and take an action to remove this a barrier. So we'll say, because it was totally my intent and I forgot about it, that while she was still here before we moved, that we did the flashback, and that gets us Joe Sargent, who, when Joe Sargent leaves play, remove him from the game. He gets 3 tickets. You can take a trigger to spend a ticket and to move to a connecting location that is not fully flooded. And so we're going to give him to Silas. He doesn't take up any kind of slots. Let's see, but we'll put him. Put Peter and Granny here, and then we'll put him here with his 3 tickets. Okay, and then we'll finish doing what we were doing before, which is Pathfinder here, and then we got a 3 shroud, 2 clue location, and I guess we're just going to investigate at 6v3. Let's see, so we investigated, we're investigating at 6v3 to get a clue. Oh, should put a random clue, a random key here. When we killed the this deep one bull would have moved toward us. So, yeah. When we killed the Shoggoth. Oh wait, no, he's not a deep one. Okay, so this guy doesn't hunt. Because Shoggoths aren't deep ones. Alright. Okay, that is the number of barriers. So it's -4, so we fail that. Alright, that's fine. We'll spend 3 to put down the Dream Enhancing Serum. Not the Dream Enhancing Serum, the Grizzly Totem. Alright. So now we have the Grizzly Totem in play. Good. So the Young Deep One, I didn't go over the hunting rules, but if they have a path without barriers, they will follow it. So they'll follow this way instead of coming directly through the barrier. Upkeep. Silas will get his net. We have to drop a card, we'll drop the Derringer. Use it 3 resources. Amanda will draw a Perception and a resource. Okay. We are at 3 Doom, and Silas will get a Ravager from the Deep. Okay, while this location is flooded, it gets +1 fight and +1 evade, +2 fight and +2 evade instead of its location is fully flooded. After it engages, you test 2 fight. If you fail, place 1 barrier between your location and the connecting location to the west. Alright, so we are testing our 4 fight. We will commit, actually we're not going to commit anything. We're at 4v2 and we can lucky if we need to. I want to save the commits for attacking him twice, so. Okay, -2, -4, -3. So we really failed that test in a big way. So no luckying out of that one. Well, it cost us 1 barrier. Not a big deal. Alright. And then Amanda will get an Innsmouth Troublemaker location with the most clues. We can put it way back on the Innsmouth Harbor back here. Alright, and then she will draw a card and we get to see what we're going to do. She gets a deduction. So we're either going to put a perception or a deduction under her. But I kind of want the card draw from the perception. So put the perception under her. Alright. Silas is going to... We already used our daring. What are we going to commit to do the damage here? Alright, so we will... Silas action 1 will commit quick thinking to attack this Ravager from the deep. Not the quick thinking, we'll just commit the unexpected courage. Now so we're at 7 V2. Five V2. Okay. And then an Elder Sign. Whew. Which means we can commit something from his discard pile, which will be a daring, for sure. So we'll take the daring, which will let us draw a card, which will be resourceful, which is nice. Okay. We will go ahead and attack him again, committing the unexpected courage. So we used his ability to pull something back. And we get a -1. So we've already used the ability, so we have to leave the unexpected courage, but that's fine. The Ravager from the deep is dead. And we have one last action. We will move this barrier over here. Alright. Good deal. Now it is... We're going to... Amanda's going to investigate. She gets the Essence of the Dream in her hand. She's going to investigate. She is at 2, 3, 4 to beat 3. We'll use the Grizzly Totem to beat... no. She'll commit Elena Harper to beat 5, 6 to beat 3. And we'll use 7 to beat 3. Let's go up. Make sure we hit this. -1. We get a clue, and we draw a card, which will be the Promise of Power. Nice. Okay, we'll investigate. Investigate again. We'll commit the Essence of the Dream, which is now with 4 icons. So we're at 8 B3. Okay, -3. So we get this clue. We draw a card, which is a deduction. We have 2 deductions now. So we may Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card. which is burning the midnight oil. And we'll take this key, which is the red key. We will spend 3 clues to remove this barrier. We will Pathfinder. And we'll get we're looking at the Esoteric Order of Dagon. We put a random key on it. It's got 2 clues. And it's got a double action to parlay, test 3 intellect. If you successful, you can remove a thing. Watch this. That's a lot. But actually, we're out of clues now. So we might have problems. We'll see. All right. So we've got 2 clues. She's there. She's going to investigate one more time. She's at 4v4. We will commit the deduction. And let's see, that gets her to 5v4. And we'll use the... Oh man, that elder thing is worth -4 right now. So we got the deduction. We're going to go ahead and throw in this promise of power, which will add a curse to the bag. So we're at 2, 3, 4, 5 from the deduction, 6, 7, 8, 9. And promise of power, 9 to beat 4. Zero. Okay, so we got both clues. And we get the random set-aside key that I didn't put there yet. And we get to draw a card. So she gets this key, which is the white key. And we get our other promise of power. If we just held on, we would have gotten to do Dream Enhancing Serum. But actually, we wouldn't have because it's exhausted. So. Okay, then this was committed a long time ago. Young Deep One hunts. Get ready. Silas will draw Siren Call. Okay, his weakness. And he has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 1 too many cards in his hand. I do believe we will drop the Silas's net because I don't think we need it. Well, you know what? We may want it later. So, I think for now I'll drop the Live and Learn. No, I'm gonna drop the Take Heart, even though I got it back before. Yeah. Okay. And he gets a resource. And then Amanda will draw. Practice makes perfect. And she's at 3 resources. Alright. Not too shabby. Alright. We are at 4 or 5 doom. Amanda will draw. Emerging Deep One. And just play Exhausted unless its location is fully flooded, which it's not. If it engages you, if your location is flooded, it attacks you. It's exhausted. Oh wait, I don't know why I was thinking that was Amanda. This is actually Silas. Okay. And then Amanda gets a Young Deep One. So she takes a Horror. And it's on her. Do we then just take... I could kill off the lab assistant. But I don't think we want to. We have the actions to play another lab assistant. I think we will just kill off the lab assistant. Yeah. Alright, so Silas will take 2 actions to clear his weakness. And then he's going to attack that emerging deep one. We'll commit a daring. We have not pulled back anything yet. So we fire off the Sea Change Harpoon. It's -1. We will pull it back and draw a card, which is a quick thinking. All right. Good deal. This guy's dead. Oh, did we draw a card and put something under Amanda? We didn't. So she draws an Inquiring Mind, which we don't want to put under her. We will put Unexpected Courage under her. All right. So she is attacking at a 6. She's going to whack the young deep one. Oh, this deep one bull moved because of Silas's actions here. So this makes me think maybe we want to evade. No, it's fine. Alright. She's going to attack. She's at 6v3 with a Time Worn Brand. 0. Just 2 damage to it. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's a way. I guess I just realized that like the skulls are -4, so we're gonna go ahead and commit Essence of the Dream to this. So it's a lot. We're up by like 1 billion. I just don't want to miss. Oh wait! No, we can. We'll add the icon with the Grizzly Totem. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That is much better. None of this stuff is exhausted. I don't know why. I have it all exhausted. But okay, we're using the Grizzly Totem to add an icon to Unexpected Courage. So now we're at 7v3 against the young deep one. All right, welcome back. I had to back up for a second because I realize now that if I kill this young deep one, it's going to move this deep one bull onto Silas. Is going to take 2 damage attack, which is really unnecessary. So before Amanda does her last hit, he's going to use the ticket on Joe Sargent to get a free trigger, and he'll move to the near church green. Okay, and then she's going to use the Grizzly Totem. She'll go at a 7v3 with the Time Worn Brand on the young deep one. Alright, that's -2, so she's successful. The young deep one is dead. That was her second action. Yeah, then we're going to spend 2 to play the Lab Assistant. Or we'll Pathfinder first. And then, yeah, we'll play 2 for the Lab Assistant. And we'll draw 2 cards. So we get Perception and an Inquiring Mind. That Inquiring Mind triggers a Dream Enhancing Serum, which allows us to draw a card, which is our second of 3 aces. So, it's good. Alright, so the deep one... Oh, and the deep one bull would have moved when she defeated that. So now this one hunts. This guy hunts. I think that was last turn. Hopefully we're not. Let's see. No, I'm pretty sure that was 2 turns ago. So he'll have hunted. Oh wait, he actually would have had to have hunted up here and then to here. Okay. All right. Now we're doing upkeep. Silas will draw a Resourceful. We have to drop a card. We'll probably drop that Resourceful because we don't need 2 of them. And Meat Cleaver. I had to drop 2 cards. And he gets a resource. And then Amanda will get an Overpower. And a resource. All right, we are at 5 advances. Crowd gathers in the town square. At first you are relieved to see faces not bearing hideous, monstrous features, the prodigious bulging eyes, wide jaws filled with sharp, jagged teeth, the gills, fins, and webbing that suggest something fish-like and inhuman. Then you hear one voice rise above the din, and your heart turns to ice. The time is nigh. The order of Dagon commands you. Slay the outsiders and any who stand in our way, and you shall be rewarded. You shall be remade and share in the riches of the deep. A robed man shouts. The crowd rejoices in jubilant madness. Increase the flood level of each midtown location. So these become fully flooded. And then we have... This is flooded. This is flooded. This is flooded. Well, not fully flooded, though. And then we have... Okay. All that's flooded. And then we have spawn set-aside Angry Mob at the Innsmouth Square. And randomly choose one of the set-aside keys. So we choose a set-aside key. And we'll put, I have to go back to the collection for the Angry Mob, which is here. It's a 3/12/3 that does not make attacks of opportunity, and he has a random key. Victory 0. We spawn it here at the square. Alright, so there you go. The reason I position there is I want to move in and get that, get the key off of it. Okay, so we are now drawing encounter cards. We have this new agenda, which is Flooded Streets. It's a 4 doom threshold. When your turn ends, if you are at a fully flooded location, take 1 damage, 1 horror, and discard 1 card at random from your hand. Oof. Okay. And then Silas's encounter is... Okay, place 1 barrier between this location and each connecting location. No barriers are placed. Gain surge. Okay, so... We put 1 here and 1 there. It's going to eat up some clues, but I think we're okay. And then we will get Undertow for Amanda. Okay, so I think Silas can test this Undertow for Amanda. And then she draws a card, and we have to decide what we're going to put under her. She gets a Practice Makes Perfect, which is actually quite good. We will Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card, which is an Unexpected Courage. So I do think that we are going to... We'll just put the Essence of the Dream under her. Alright. So now Silas is going to do the test. He's got to discard a card. He'll discard... the Live and Learn, I guess, from his hand. Or no, the Live and Learn from his hand. To do the test on the Undertow. He is at 4. commit resource. No, he'll just be at 4, and Amanda will commit an overpower to this. So 4, 5, 6 to beat a 3 on this undertow test. Again, this is not taking action. Okay. Okay, so we fail by, we were at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we failed by 2. So we can spend 1 resource to be lucky, to play lucky. And that's gone. Then we'll spend 3 clues to remove the barrier here, because we're going to go in and murder this angry mob. Alright, so Silas will then, he will use a ticket from Joe Sargent to move in and get the young deep one and the deep one bull on him. He has to get rid of a card. Choose and discard a card from your hand. We'll get rid of the look what I found, I suppose. Alright, so we've got lots to do here. And we take a horror from the deep one, which is fine, I guess. Put up here. I think we evade the deep one, the young deep one. How much damage? Okay, so Amanda can probably do... I misplayed this just a little bit, but it's okay, I think. Alright, I think we just do our best to kill... Well, we'll evade the young deep one. Do 2 damage to the deep one bull, and then 2 damage... Okay. So, actually... Okay, so the first thing we'll do, we'll just attack the young deep one, committing quick thinking. So we are at 4, 5, 6 to beat 3. Commit the resourceful to be 7 to beat 3. We're attacking. 7 to beat 3. First action. 7 to beat 3. Alright, that is -2. Oh, he should be here. 7 to beat 2. So we succeed by 2. 7, 6, 5. Yeah, so we get the extra action from quick thinking. Alright, and we do 2 damage to the young deep one. And we get a card from Resourceful. We get a card from our discard back, which will be lucky. Alright. Now, we are going to attack the young deep one. We don't need to commit a card. We are just at 4, 5, beat 3. The Sea Change Harpoon. -1. Okay. It's dead. Alright, second action, we are going to hit the angry mob, committing daring. So we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to beat 3. -4, we have to leave it committed. But we do 2 damage to it. We get to draw a card, which is an old key ring. Okay, and now okay, because of taboo, unfortunately, we're going to commit this quick thinking, but it's not going to actually help us to do extra damage, but it's fine. Okay, or we won't get an extra action from it. So we're just at 4, 5, 6 to beat 3 on the angry mob. Alright, that is -2. So he takes another 2 damage. Oh, we can pull back the quick thinking because we haven't pulled anything back yet. So that works out. Alright, cool. We were at 4, 5. 4, 5, 6, and then 5, 4. We pull back quick thinking. Yeah, we still succeed and do the 2 damage. So there's 4 damage on this angry mob. So Amanda has got to do. She's got to do a lot of damage. She's got to do 8 damage, which she can probably fairly easily do. But could she do more? That's a good question. Okay, she's going to Pathfinder in. That's not how that works. She's going to Pathfinder in. All right, she is going to attack, spending 1 resource to play Practice Makes Perfect, to look through the last 2 cards of her deck to grab the 3 aces, which I knew was there. And then that gets committed to the test, and then she'll commit her other 2 copies of 3 aces, doing a 2 damage hit, so it automatically hits. She draws, she draws 3 cards, which will be her weakness. We put a horror on the lab assistant and shuffle her deck. And she draws 2 more cards, which will be Perception and Obscure Studies. All of that is in her hand. The 2 other copies of 3 aces sadly go into the discard pile after the test, along with the Practice Makes Perfect. And we get 3 resources. This 3 aces goes back into her hand. Okay. Then she is going to trying to see if there's a way. We have to do 6 damage, and I don't think there's a way for us to do it. I was hoping I would draw a vicious blow, in which case we could commit 2 vicious blows to do it, but we didn't. So I'm inclined to try to save Silas here from this deep 1 bull. And then just take out the angry mob next turn. Right, so we will spend 1 resource to play Practice Makes Perfect. As we hit the deep 1 bull with the Time Worn brand. So we look through the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for a vicious blow that we're committing to this test. So this is against the deep 1 bull, this on Silas. Let's see, we are at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll commit this, so we're back down to 10. Alright, I believe I miscounted here, but we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. So we're 8v4 to do 3 damage to the deep 1 bull. And this will get rid of her Whispers from the Deep. -1, that's 3 damage. And the vicious blow goes back into her hand. Whispers of the Deep is discarded. And then we will do another, we'll do a swing. We're at 6, 7, 8, v4. It's to do 2 damage, we'll kill it. Okay, that's 0. It is dead. And we prevented 2 damage to Silas. Alright, enemy phase. This guy will hunt. They will each take a damage and horror because of the angry mob. Peter actually healed her, so we put 1 back on him, and then we're at 4 of 9 damage. Alright. And Silas draws. Look what I found. A resource. He's got the resources to pay for it. Amanda will draw a Vicious Blow, which she already has the other one. So she can Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card, which is an Overpower. So I gotta look at her hand count now, actually. So her hand is really big. We gotta drop some cards here. We're gonna drop the Burning the Midnight Oil and the Dream Enhancing Serum. Alright, and then she does get a resource. Alright, so we're at 1 for Doom. It's getting tight. And Silas will draw. Okay. Choose a location where there's at least 1 investigator, increase at flood level. Well, that has to be here, and they each take a damage. Alright. It is getting tight. Alright, and then Amanda will get the Deep 1 Assault. This is disengage from each Deep 1 enemy at your location. Each Deep 1 enemy at your location and each connecting location engages you. So I'm pretty sure this makes... Oh, this is not a Deep 1. Okay, so if none do, then we have to search for 1. Alright, which we will do. So I think we'll just grab the Lurking Deep 1. We get to choose. And she'll take a damage from that. So that is on her. And she will take damage. There's an argument for killing off the lab assistant, I suppose. Oh, she's got 3 health left. We're okay. Alright. So the question is, I think... No, Silas will take... He needs to get out of here. So he's going to take the 2 actions to move these here. Oh, wait. This is not going to work. Yes, it will. And he's going to move these 2 over here. And then that's 1 and 2. And then he'll take his last action to move here. Alright, this is the First National Grocery. After you enter this location from a connecting location, place 1 barrier between both locations. And then you can parlay, test your lowest skill. 2, if you succeed, remove a barrier between the lowest, this location and a connecting location. There are 4 clues in this victory point 1. So, 4 clues. Alright, so we got 4 clues there, and we have to put a barrier behind him. Alright, so Amanda, before any of that happened, she had to draw a card. She got the Promise of Power. I think we already exhausted the Dream Enhancing Serum. Yeah, so we are going to put the Overpower under her. We have. Now she is going to whack the Lurking Deep 1. She is at 6 V2. So this is action 1. Silas could have tracked shoes, but I think he wants to be where he's at. So. Alright, there's 6 V2, and she kills it in the Time Worn brand. she gets to draw a card, which is another overpower. Okay, she will now exhaust the brand, committing 2 vicious blows to this. So she is still at... so she gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then she has her willpower, which is 7, because that... So she's at 7v3. This treachery here is lowering her willpower. So, but she's still 7v3. This will do 6 damage. And if we auto-fail, I'm going to cry. Alright, that is -3. So she does 6 damage. And this guy goes into the victory display. She gets the key, which is the blue key. That was her second action. She draws 3 cards, so she'll get Elena Harper, Unexpected Courage, which is a duplicate, and Laboratory Assistant. For her last action, she will... Oh, and she draws a card from the overpower, which is a deduction, which is also a duplicate. Alright, and then for her last action, she will move this over here. And then she will Pathfinder in, which then adds another block behind her. Alright, so that does that. Okay, enemy phase, this guy no longer has to follow the path, because there is no path to them, since there's a block there. So he'll come straight here. Okay, and then we do upkeep. Silas will draw a meat cleaver. We're going to go ahead, I think we kill off the lab assistant, it's fine. Shuffle our deck. Means we're going to have to discard a number of cards, but I think we just don't care, actually. Okay, and she will get Vicious Blow. Alright, and she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She's got effectively 11 cards. So we got to drop down to 8. So I think we will get rid of the cracked cases. We don't need them. That's 1. We're going to drop Elena Harper. That's 2. And I'm going to drop the Overpower. I don't think we need it right now. Alright, so that gets her legal. And did I grab a resource? Alright, we are at 2 of 4 Doom. Silas will draw. Okay, he gets this. Each investigator loses 3 resources or takes 2 horror or plays 1 Doom in the agenda. We're at least 3 resources. It's pretty easy. Although I wish I'll have this cracked case back. Okay, and then Rising Tides. Increase the flood level of the nearest location that can have its flood level increased. If no location's flood level is increased by this effect, Rising Tide gains a surge. Okay, so they need to get out of this location. It's not a problem. Okay, and then at the beginning of the phase, Amanda gets Burning the Midnight Oil. And we will put a deduction under her, because we're going to get some clues. I do think the first thing we'll do is spend 2 resources to play our lab assistant out of our hand. So we have some protection. Draw 2 cards. So we'll get a Practice Makes Perfect and 3 aces. 3 aces causes the Dream Enhancing Serum to go off. And we will get our other 3 aces. Excellent. So now we will, that was our first action. The second action, we'll play Brain the Midnight Oil to get 2 resources. And commit 3 aces to this test. All 3 copies of 3 aces. Which means we draw 3 cards. We'll get a Practice Makes Perfect, a Vicious Blow, and Whispers from the Deep, and 3 resources. And get 2 clues. And then we will investigate our third action. We will go ahead and commit. So we're right now at 3v3. We'll commit Whispers from the Deep. We're at 2v3. We'll commit Essence of the Drain. So now we're at 7v3 to get 2 clues. 7v3 to get 2 clues. Okay, that's -2. We get the 2 clues. And we Pathfinder into the Gilman house, which is a 3-shroud, 4-clue location, which we put a key on, and it has a parlay of a fight or agility. If you succeed, remove 1 barrier between this location and a connecting location. Alright. So we need to get all these clues. To get this last key. Okay. That is her turn. Oh, I could have used this Grizzly Totem, but I guess I didn't need it. Alright, so Silas, action 1, will move in. He's investigating at 3v3. Actually, I'm going to actually use Joe Sargent and save an action. And then we'll investigate at 3v3. We have this, look what I found. That we can get 2 clues. So 3v3. Okay, 0. We'll just take a clue. That was our first action. Second action. We'll also go at 3v3. Oh, it's an auto fail. We can't do anything about that. Okay. Last action, we'll go at 3v3. -1, and then we'll spend 2 for look what I found. And get 2 clues. So now we have a bunch of clues. We'll spend. Well, we're not going to spend clues yet. We'll spend at the beginning of next turn. Okay, this guy, because he will hunt. Because there is no pathway to get to them, he'll just ignore barriers. Actually, we could make him hunt down this way, which might be to our advantage. So we're going to do that. Okay. Alright, and then we do upkeep. Silas will draw another lucky and a resource to use it. And then we get our Dream Enhancing Serum as the last card And she'll get a resource. Okay. We're at 3 of 4 doom, and drawing a encounter card, which is Innsmouth Look. So this is going to take down both Silas' sanity and his intellect. Amanda will get Emerging Deep 1. Just play exhausted and unengaged unless its location is fully flooded, which it's not. It's only partially flooded. If it engages you, it attacks you. So here we are. And then we'll put a horror. She has to draw a card. Amanda has to draw a card, so it's actually at the location. So we're shuffling her very thin deck. She gets to crack the case. Okay, and let's see. I think we just put an inquiring mind under her. No, we'll put a deduction under her. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, so I want Silas to go first and see if he can get that clue, and then if he can get that clue, we can move on. So, he will use the old key ring. So he is, that reduces the shroud down to 1. And he is at, because this reduces his intellect down to 2. So he's at 2v1. And we can lucky. So 2v1. Or Granny Orn. We got lots of different ways. I think I grabbed too many resources here. And 2v1 minus 2. We will Granny Orn. She's right here. We'll use her. Peter should have healed. And we'll get this clue and use the last key of the key ring. Alright, now I think Silas will just go ahead and take a shot with the Sea Change Harpoon at the Emerging Deep 1. He's at 4, 5, 6 to beat 3. Zero. You can pull back. Quick thinking. That kills the Emerging Deep 1. He'll spend 3 clues. And so that was clue. Let's see. 3 clues to remove this barrier. And we'll go here. This is Sawbone Alley. Test. It's 4 clues. It's 4 shroud, 4 clues, victory point. You can test willpower 2. If you succeed, remove 1 barrier between location and connecting location. And if you control all 7 keys as a group, parlay, read flashback 7 in the campaign guide, which I can do right now, which adds a +1 token to the bag. We could track shoes, but I don't really think it's necessary. We'll stay here because this is where Amanda's going to end up. Although, actually, there is a value of track shoes. So we will track shoes, actually. So we'll exhaust track shoes. We're at 6v. I should put the clues there. Actually, no, there is no value, so I'm not going to do it. Yep. All right, so we're here. That was our last action. Okay, so Amanda will pick up... We'll say he picked up the key. Well, okay. Amanda can pick up the key, then he can do the trigger, and we just did... nothing's out of order. Okay. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 keys. Okay, cool. So now Amanda will Pathfinder in. She's going to investigate. She is at 3v4. So we will go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 v4. Wait. No. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 v4. But up by. That's good enough. this first action. -1, she gets 2 clues. And she draws a card from the perception. Which is an overpower. Okay, we'll do the same thing again. I have another inquiring mind and a perception. So we'll do the same thing again. Okay, that's a +1. Maybe that was the +1 we just added. And she gets 2 clues, and she draws a card from the perception. Good old Elena Harper. Alright. And then, for her last action, she will just move to the little bookshop, which is a 3-shroud, 1 clue location. If you contain 5, if the investigators control 5 more keys, you can read flashback 6 in the campaign guide, and that will give. Let's see. Okay, that means she gets this Teachings of the Orders. Teachings of the Order. It's a permanent. You can exhaust it and choose one of the effects you have not done. You can remove all the curse tokens. You can remove a flood token from a non-technical location, or you can defeat a non-elite enemy at your location. So cool. So that goes into her area. It's permanent. Okay, so that is it. This Troublemaker moves here. And Silas will draw and get an unexpected courage, which is fine. And a resource. And then we get an overpower. And we will exhaust the Remanting Serum to draw another card. Okay, we get the Whispers from the Deep, which we will have to commit at some point. That's okay. And then she gets a resource. Just drawing because I know the 3 aces are coming up. Okay, so we the agenda advances. Okay. The Manixet River spills over as the tide rolls in higher and higher. Soon the streets are overflowing. The waves engulf anything and everything in their way, turning over vehicles, smashing through ramshackle houses, and cutting off escape routes. If this goes on much longer, there will be nothing left of the town of Innsmouth. Increase the flood level of each location, and then they each draw an encounter card. So, these become fully flooded. This, I'm sure, should have been fully flooded a long time ago, but it doesn't matter. And these are flooded. And before we draw the encounter cards, we'll just look at the last agenda. Which just says, when you return in, if you're at a fully flooded location, you take 1 damage, 1 horror, and discard 2 cards at random from your hand. Okay. So they each draw an encounter card, and then they're going to draw another set of encounter cards. So Silas will get Undertow, okay, which just goes into his threat area. He'll take 2 damage, 2 horror. He can survive that, so he just doesn't even care. And then Amanda will get, okay, place 1 barrier between this location and all other locations with no. So we put a barrier here, and then for the Mythos phase, Silas will get pulled back. Test 3 willpower. If you fail, move to the connecting location to the east. Oh, that would be, like, seriously not good. Well, it's not that terrible, actually. But we still would prefer not to fail it. So, we're our willpower is actually 4 willpower. Yeah, 4 willpower. Because we get a boost from Peter and Granny. So we'll unexpected courage to be 6v3. And of course, we can Lucky or Granny Orn this. Okay, that is an Elder Sign. So we can commit something from our... I guess it doesn't matter. We'll commit a Eureka. Let's look at the top 3 cards. We get Stunning Blow, Live and Learn, or Take Heart. We'll just take the Live and Learn for no reason. And shuffle these back in. Okay, and then Amanda will draw. Her last encounter card is Ravager from the Deep. So it's going to be +1 fight, +1 evade, +2 fight, and +2 evade if the location is fully flooded. Okay, so it's not fully flooded, it's just partially flooded. And if you fail, you have to pace your... Yeah, if we fail, we'll have to take this test, but I mean, there's no barrier to our west, so it's not a big deal. So we're facing a 2 fight. We are at 2v2. We don't care about passing this test, so we're not going to invest in it. Actually, there is a reason to invest in it. Because we don't want to fail by 2. Because the cultist would move us back to the right, and that would be a disaster. So we will commit an Overpower to this. So we're at 4v2. And then at least we don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Yeah, so Overpower, here we go. Alright, Elder Sign. We pass, and we get to draw a card. Which is a 3 aces. We know how this is going to go, yes? Alright, so we got one of our 3 aces. Oh, I should have committed the Whispers from the Deep. Now the Whispers of the Deep is going to have to go under her. Alright, so she draws at the beginning of the phase. Another copy of 3 aces. Now, looks like we already did the Dreaming Hands and Serum. I don't remember did that or not. But anyway, so now the Whispers from the Deep needs to go under her. So she is just going to evade. It's gone. She's just going to evade, spending 1 to play Practice Makes Perfect to pull her 3 aces out and commit the other 3 aces. So this is the evade. The Ravager from the Deep is automatically evaded, and she draws 3 cards. So she'll get a Burning the Midnight Oil, Correct the Case. There's no way that's too hard. She'll take a Horror and reshuffle her deck. Drawing 1 more card, which is Inquiring Mind. And she gets 3 resources as evaded. Then she will spend 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 clues to remove these 2 barriers. She will Pathfinder. Let's see, one of these 3 aces goes to her hand, the other goes to her discard. Into the Railroad Station, which says, okay, it's a 1 shroud 0 clue location. After you enter this location, if it is flooded, it has 2 agility. If you fail, take 1 damage. And then there's an action to resign. So we got to take this agility test. Her agility is 1v2. So she'll do that. 1 because the Whispers from the Deep, we have to commit it. We're at 1v2. -1, we take a damage. We will just get rid of the Lab Assistant. And then we will, so that was first action was evade. We Pathfindered. Second action, we resign. So we get out of there, dropping all of our keys, but I won't actually do it. So Silas will just move. The Undertow goes away, and we'll kill Joe's Sergeant and take a damage. Moving him from the game. That's action 1. Action 2, we'll move in here. We have to test agility. We're at agility 4. You might wonder why I didn't use track shoes here. It's because I didn't want to... I mean, there was just no reason, I guess. We're at 4v2, because that location's flooded. And we'll take a damage if we fail. -1, we do not fail. And then we resign. So, we got all the flashbacks. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a victory point enemy, 6 BP, plus there's 2 from the interlude. So I would call that a successful run. So, well, I hope you enjoyed it. That's a really fun scenario. I'm so far really digging this cycle. Hope you are too. And I will see you next time on Winging It.